right about now. So shout out to all my brothers and sisters. Today is a special live. I want to be explaining about Yahushua and the multitudes. Right, when Yahushua was up on the mountain and they feed the multitudes with 2 loaves of fish. Sorry, with 2 loaves of bread and 2 loaves of fish. It's important that you read what is in the description of this live video, because everything I tell you, it is what it is. It is what the Creator Elohim, it is what they are doing right about now throughout the earth. So this is the life to be on, right? Where I will be teaching you some ancient stuff. And I'll be teaching you what is the purpose of the water spout. What does the water spout do? I'll be teaching you the real truth, or the real fact, and the real history on why, when the Bible claims that Yahushua multiply the fishes and multiply the bread. Well, I'm going to explain that to you today. So make sure and invite as much people as possible. Invite as much people as possible. And also make sure to share this live on all groups possible. I really want to help people to understand the deceptions of the fallen angels, which is the Anunnaki, the Enki, the shadow government, the reptilian, and the elites, the evil ones. Shalom to you, Sister Kati, and welcome to you. And Sister Lolita. So if you all remember, when I drew, I actually drew where the split will happen. If you used to watch my live, or you always watching my live, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. You will know exactly what I'm speaking about. I did a drawing where Elohim teach me, where they showed me over live. If you have enough time, I will be teaching you all that today. Also, I'll be showing you all about Kenya, what caused Kenya to split, and what will be the result of the split. Now scientists says, you know them as liars. They actually talk about
right, and them still choose to show you hate. Sure. Run them out of your yard. From them I play bad young. I them a backbiters, hypocritical to sideless. We call them modern day Judas, the spreaders of rumors. Oh, them a backbiters, hypocritical to sideless. We call them modern day Judas, spreaders of rumors. Hey, so why should I be afraid of you when you bleed just like I do? The more you try fight, judge, a light keeps shining too. So I've got no time for you, cause in my view you wanna step in on my shoe. You wish you never leave a loo and feel so that.
And one of the prophecies, one of my prophecies from 2017 has finally come to pass, where Kenya actually split. Yes, it is in a prophecy.
I'm confused how every day you wake you ache because you know you're fake, and every step you take I bring you closer to your.
So people say it will never happen. It will never happen in their lifetime.
But I am like a column when I easily shake. The certain say I feel me none of who can't take. We guided by the monster, defender of the faith. Yes, ordained to be great. Oh, them are backbiters, hypocritical.
So all them backbiters and them are coming for your neck.
To sideless, we call them modern day Judas, the spreaders of rumors. Oh, them are backbiters.
Soldiers, are you ready for war?
Hypocritical to sideless, we call.
Salam to you, Korea.
Them modern day Judas.
And salam to you, Cleo.
Spreaders of rumors. But your teeth.
Hey, what's up to you, brothers and sisters?
And tongue gonna let you down.
So shout out to all my real brothers and sisters.
Reward for your words shall be profound. Oh, screw all you want, but go loo and drown. Me slew you like Goliath with a stone from.
So right about now, what you need to do is share this live.
My crown, not even the dog that is set on the wall of Babylon shall escape in this time. So word to the wise, choose the right side, and down to be hindered by your foolish pride. I said no weapon formed against I and I shall prosper. So tell me some force right and more God have disrespect and face disaster. Call them a backbiters, hypocritical too.
And we are live.
Sideless, we call them modern day Judas, spreaders of rumors. Hold them a back.
Hey, shout out to your sister.
Hypocritical.
And to all the real commanders in the house.
Sideless, we call them modern day Judas, spreaders of rumors. But I man deny concoctions. You can't give me slip when me never.
So when you see there's another prophecy that split in Peru.
I see a slew. You can't give me stew, not even cash use. Some say me paro, some say I never abuse. But I can't forget what I done to the Jews and what his friends did to the tough gang too.
So all them backbiters on them.
All in the name of suppressing the truth. But I absolute.
All of them suppressing the ancient truth of Elohim and spreading lies and propaganda against Elohim and me.
Me them can't pollute, cause them are backbiters, hypocritical to sideless. We call.
So I have a lot to teach you today, right? To make sure you have your pen and your paper.
Them modern day Judas, spreaders of rumors. Oh, them are
so all these spreaders of rumors,
backbiters,
you'll be left behind.
hypocritical to sideless. We call them modern day Judas, spreaders of rumors. Oh, them are backbiters, hypocritical to sideless. We call them modern day Judas.
All right. So we're gonna get to the broadcast, right? I run it. I'm gonna run it twice.
It could end up splitting the continent apart. Deborah Pat is tracking developments from Johannesburg, South Africa.
Imagine waking up one morning to find a
It could end up splitting the continent apart. Deborah Pat is tracking developments from Johannesburg, South Africa.
Imagine waking up one morning to find a
It could end up splitting the continent apart. Deborah Pat is tracking developments from Johannesburg, South Africa.
Imagine waking up one morning to find a massive crack running through your home. That's what happened to Elliot in Jaguna, forced to dismantle his house by hand before it was lost to the earth below. He lives in Mai Mahiu, part of the Great Rift Valley in Kenya, a region that has already provided a treasure trove of some of the most important archaeological finds in history. And this latest discovery is so significant, scientists predict it will be the fault line along which history is made once again as Africa splits into two continents. Although that won't happen.
Kenya seemingly overnight. The crack stretches along Kenya's Great Rift Valley, and many scientists could end up splitting the continent apart. Deborah Pat is tracking developments from Johannesburg, South Africa.
Imagine waking up one morning to find a massive crack running through your home. That's what happened to Elliot in Jaguna, forced to dismantle his house by hand before it was lost to the earth below. He lives in Mai Mahiu, part of the Great Rift Valley in Kenya, a region that has already provided a treasure trove of some of the most important archaeological finds in history. And this latest discovery is so significant, scientists predict it will be the fault line along which history is made once again as Africa splits into two continents. Although that won't happen.
Kenya seemingly overnight.
They don't know nothing.
The crack stretches along Kenya's Great Rift Valley, and many scientists believe it could end up splitting the continent apart. Deborah Pat is tracking developments from Johannesburg, South Africa.
Imagine waking up one morning to find a massive crack running through your home. That's what happened to Elliot in Jaguna, forced to dismantle his house by hand before it was lost to the earth below. He lives in Mai Mahiu, part of the Great Rift Valley in Kenya, a region that has already provided a treasure trove of some of the most important archaeological finds in history. And this latest discovery is so significant, scientists predict it will be the fault line along which history is made once again as Africa splits into two continents. Although that won't happen.
Kenya seemingly overnight. The crack stretches along Kenya's Great Rift Valley, and many scientists believe it could end up splitting the continent apart. Deborah Pat is tracking developments from Johannesburg, South Africa.
Imagine waking up one morning to find a massive crack running through your home. That's what happened to Elliot in Jaguna, forced to dismantle his house by hand.
Give me faith, oh Jah, I pray, oh Lord, face another day. Oh,
saying on groups that nothing that I speak comes to pass, but I have no idea that it actually taking place. But they are brainwashed.
All help for it is past, and all help for you to go, without whom I could not be. When you're trying to leave, you are
So right about now,
out of the line.
I'm asking you to give me strength.
I wouldn't be so unwise, and so I promise to serve thee, oh my Lord, and I beg thee some mercy. Lord, give me strength to face another day, journey along life's road, carry my heavy load. Give me strength, oh God, to carry on, oh my Lord.
Alright, I was told to teach you all something else.
Life has become a burden, living in this evil system. Oh, Jah, please strengthen me. I cannot make it alone. I need you as my own. Oh, Jah, I call on thee. Some are trying to leave you out of your life, or I wouldn't be so unwise. And so I promise to serve thee with all my all, and I beg thee some mercy. Lord, give me strength to face another day, to make it along life's road, to carry on my load. Give me
So when this song done, I'm going to be explaining to the world what caused the crack, and you will see for yourself it has what I'm going to explain to you.
strength, oh Jah, to carry.
So we need to push this live viral, because apparently Facebook is blocking it again.
Oh my Lord, say give me strength, oh Jah, to carry on and do thy holy word. Oh, give me
Hey, 5 shares, come on.
strength that I can make my stand above the sinking sail. Oh, when you're trying to leave you out of the line, but I wouldn't be so unwise, and so I promise to serve thee with all my all, and I'm begging thee mercy. Lord, give me strength to face another day, make it along life's road, and carry on my load. Give me strength, oh Jah, to carry on, oh my Lord, Jah.
Alright, people. So what I want you to do right now, let's get to share this live. What I'm teaching you all here, people should be paying me. People should be actually paying me to teach them these things. But you know what? It's free, and people still won't share it. But you know what? It's alright if they share it or they don't share it. What I do is for Elohim is teach you some ancient things that you never heard before anywhere else. Show you some things that they never heard before, and so on. You know, people just pay to learn bullshit, right? People just get paid to fucking learn lies. But I'm teaching you the real truth. But people don't want to learn the real truth. That's the world that we live in, eh? Right. Anyhow, let's get to it now. Alright, so we got a little music in the background there. Alright. Forget about what they want and what they want. First, I want to know if you hear me clearly. I want to explain. Right. I want to explain the crack. On the way how it's cracked. What caused that crack? Hi to all my guests, to everyone who joined this live today, right? Alright, we've seen that crack here. As you can see with your own eyes. I want to show you all something. This is not a new continent, as NASA says, or as scientists says. This will be a new continent. This is not a new continent forming here, right? I also want to show you all something awesome, so that you'll be able to see also that the angel who split here, you can see the face, the way how they cut out the split. You can see the angel carve out himself. You see, you have to be spiritually awakened to see what I see. What I see, most of you can't see what I see, right? So I want to show you something secret that other people, scientists, can't see. So I want to show you where the eye is. This will be the eye of the angel. The eye of the angel is right here, and you can see the tears coming down the angel eye. Right? See the tears coming down the angel eye. Now what I'm telling you here might sound crazy, because you're not spiritually awakened, not prepared yet to receive this revelation. Right? So look, the eye of the angel here, tears from the angel, and you can see the nostrils of the angel. So this is the nostril of the angel. This is the teeth of the angel here. You can see the angel teeth. You can see the bottom lip here. You can see the chin here, and the neck down this side. So you see in his chin here, and you see in his neck structure here. Again, you see the eye of the angel. You see the nostril of the angel here. You see the lip of the angel and the teeth of the angel here, right? You see the teeth here. You see the tongue in the middle. You see the lip of the angel here. You see the lip of the angel here. And you see a little black spot beard. If it look good, you can see the black beard. You can see the angel so angry. Let's see if I could just make that song again. So you could see what happening here right now. Everybody should share this live, because nobody else on the earth could see what I could see. So that's what revealed to me just now, to teach everybody what I am seeing now. And what caused the split is Archangel Michael. This is Michael here. Michael, Archangel Michael, known as Michael to you, right? The chief angel in heaven, one of the powerful archangels. This is Michael here, very angry at Kenya. Whatever evil things that they're doing in Kenya that doesn't please the Almighty, it displeases Elohim's angels, and they execute vengeance against Yah's enemies. So this is what happened here. This is the teeth of the angel, as you can see. You can see it from a distance, but I can see. This is the lip of the angel here. That be spiritually awakened to see this person. Archangel Michael carve out himself on this crack here. Now this crack here doesn't stop up here. It goes right across the valley, the rift. Not too far from this crack, there's a dormant volcano. So there's a volcano, a dormant volcano that is currently active, has begun to be active now. Because what will not happen here is Africa, South Africa, Kenya to be exact, is going to split in three. Again, Kenya is going to split in three different parts. And actually, that's the same thing that happening all over the world, right? So now you understand is that Archangel Michael took his sword, carved out himself. The split is actually him executing Yahuwah's judgment on Kenya. Kenya is going to split in three. Now this simple split that Archangel Michael make is not a simple thing. What happened here? The land needed to be saturated with water. So if you go back and do the research, you will realize that here once flooded. Once upon a time, here was flooded. So the water saturated here. And able to actually cut the land in a specific way, it had to be saturated with water. So now you know the reason why. Okay, let me say something else. What you're learning here, I hope that you really give credit to me. I hope that I really receive that credit and that you really teach the people, whoever you're going to teach the real truth, that you truly learn it from me and you ain't just fucking pick it up just so. Alright, so the land needs to be saturated first in order to be split. The land got split without being saturated. So it was saturated with water at a month of a time in Trinidad as well as different islands. We showed you what was our plan. That was the purpose for the dreams and the visions, was to show everybody who have dreams now and getting visions about the end time, that it was to show them what is the plan. Alright, how the plans will unfold for all the islands and every part of the earth. 3 days before the lunar solar eclipse, a lot of you all received dreams and visions as well. And most of you never ever reached out to Archangel Samuel to express your dreams, to get revelation of your dreams. Instead, you turn to the psychic witch. Exact what Mama say here. Instead that they turn to Archangel Samuel, they turn to the psychic witch, Devika, psychic in Trinidad. And they believe in the lies of the fallen angels or the words that are spoken through her. And now you continue to believe in that mistress of Lucifer, mistress of Lucifer, Devika. Hence the reason why all of you will be brought under judgment. All here, why judgment come upon the Caribbean islands? Who is the one that invoked it? Devika. And all of your shame will flee from you on that great day. And on that day, and that day is drawing so very near. So Mama have a thing, Elohim have a thing against Devika. They have a thing against Devika, against all the psychics, the Obeah, all of them who work in witchcraft, all of them who steal in prophecies from Archangel Samuel, all of them who speak in words that they have no idea what it is about, and all of them who take in the words of Yah out of context and put it into their own words. Thereafter, a curse will surely come upon all those who reject the righteousness of Elohim, spoken to Archangel Samuel. Because you refuse to be obedient, hence the reason why judgment will come quickly upon you. Listen carefully and listen very well, Caribbean island people. Because you refuse all these things, because you refuse the righteousness or the standard of your creators. Hence the reason why judgment will come upon you. Because you love religion and you love the tradition and refuse to reject this Babylon system that was created by the Illuminati. Because of that, hence the reason why that day of judgment is drawing near. And on that great day, I will reject you, and you will be no priest to me, neither will be your fruits, which is your children or your offsprings, will be any priest to me. We go to our next page. All of you who love Jesus Christ, Allah, Buddha, Krishna, Parvati, all the idols that the world worship, adore, and love. And all of you who love all the idols of this earth, Jesus Christ is your enemy. I will not receive you. Now get ready, which was said 10 times. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Now this will be Yahushua speaking, because Mama Imaya has ended her sentence by saying, I will not receive you unless if you reject religions and traditions. So all those who promoting religion and saying that religion is good and you need to be in a religion, no. When that day of judgment comes, you will have no rescue or no savior or nobody coming to help you or your family, because you reject the righteousness that Archangel Samuel has spoken. Now get ready. Yahushua spoke 10 times. Those who mock and scoff and say all those who mock and scoff, let them continue to mock and scoff. Let them continue to laugh. That is of no concern to us. If Jason Kanhai is the guy from Seismic, want to continue to laugh, let them continue to laugh. We will destroy all of them. All of them. They will be wiped off of the earth. No one will remember them. Their existence will be like the winds that the chaff drive it away in 7 different directions. All who want to mock and scoff and laugh could do so now. Do so as it is in your free will to do as whatever as you please. So while the moon is shifting into position, on that night the solar eclipse was seen in places that wasn't scheduled to be seen. So all these other places that wasn't scheduled to see the blood moon saw it. So all those other places that didn't have or scheduled to see the blood moon, they saw it, because the position of the moon switched on that lunar eclipse night when the blood moon occurred throughout the Caribbean islands. Because Trinidad got front row seat to firstly see the lunar eclipse, and that was a major sign for everyone who living in the Caribbean islands, as that was a prophecy that Elohim has given recently, sometime last year. So while the shifting or position was going on of the moon, different positions, the foundation stone ruby took in effect to shade the moon, and while that happened, the moon became black as sackcloth. There is a scripture that speaks about this, that the moon will become as blood on that great day, and the moon will become black as sackcloth, black as ashes. And while Ruby was shifting into her position, now this is Yahushua speaking here. After this is done, you are done for, O world. And he continued to say, let them laugh, let them mock and scoff. This is the way the generation has become. This is the way they are now. This is what this generation has become. Let them go listen to the psychics, to the mediums, to the false prophets. Let them confide in the unrighteous ones on the earth, whose partakers of the workers of iniquity, the evil ones, the ones who do enslave all of humanity. Let them go run to them for what is about to unfold upon them. Let them run to them when I bring destruction upon them. Jason Kanhai works for UE Seismic Science. He works for them. They know exactly who Archangel Samuel is. They know exactly who Archangel Samuel is, the divine messenger. They know that. They truly know that. They want you, the public, to remain blind. To remain blind. You remain blind. You remain blind. You remain blind to the signs that we have shown everyone in the Caribbean islands and throughout the earth. We will cut each and every one of those who hate Archangel Samuel off of this earth as that day approaches. Now we will get this completed. The evil ones have no shame. They don't care about humanity. They never did in the first place. Neither do they want to care. And all they in the Caribbean islands, especially in Trinidad, all they are studying now is carnival. Carnival, carnival, carnival. We will wipe them off the face of this earth. I, Yahushua, decree that all who mock and scoff at us and make a mockery out of the words that we speak to Archangel Samuel, that we will bring them to a ruin heap. And beginning today, the 21st of January, henceforth, after this day and forward, we will begin our judgment. You are in the final hour. And now, the enemy has already we will begin our judgment upon America, the Caribbean islands, Saudi Arabia, the Philippines, Indonesia, Canada, Guatemala, and all other islands within the regions of the Caribbean and the Atlantic Basin. And now it has begun, as the blood moon has ended. America is already shut down. America is already shut down. Now all other nations will take pattern in exactly to what America has done. All other nations will fall under the same category and the same pattern of what is taking place in America. It will spread like wildfire, as what is already unfolding in Venezuela, Brazil, and Mexico. And soon they will call martial law upon all islands. And eventually it will be a worldwide chaos unfolding that is going to break out worldwide. By February 5th, 2019, a worldwide economic collapse. Everything is going to collapse thereafter, the 5th. Just as like a domino effect. Everything is going to collapse. One by one. Limb by limb. Alright guys, that is the prophecy that was spoken over the live on the 21st of January 2019. There are other prophecies which I wouldn't release yet. There are other prophecies that I wouldn't release as yet. But I want the words that Yahushua, Imaya, and Abba Yahuwah have spoken this evening to you. I want it to synchronize in your spirit, synchronize in your heart right about now. For it to sink to the depths of your heart right now. And just open your heart for a second. Just think. Just think. If you're not in correct standing with Elohim, just know what's going to happen. So here we're going to, we're just going to talk about this, and then we're going to wrap up the program. For today, we already coming to 1 hour. I want to keep it 1 hour. All right. There's not much to even say anymore to people because nobody not listening. All right, nobody is listening. All right. So one of the things I want to ask people right now: what is your understanding? People not listening to me, they will run to the sidekicks and all this kind of thing. But I just want to discuss something about Venezuela and Trinidad, what's really taking place right now in Trinidad. What is actually taking place in Trinidad as of right now, folks, what's actually taking place in Trinidad as of right now is the fact that kidnapping is going on in Trinidad, alright, that is elite controlled. The elites, guys, as I said last night before, last year, 2017, 2016, 2015, what would have happened in the Caribbean island, what is already unfolding right now. So as we speak right now, America they're making moves to bring judgment, so to speak, bring judgment, because they're going to bring judgment. They're going to release it upon the Caribbean islands. So as of right now, you have Nicolas Maduro, and you have Trinidad Prime Minister, you have different people supporting the agenda of the Illuminati. So what actually going on with the people in Trinidad is where they're beginning to get desperate. Now listen to me very carefully. Now, what I'm saying is that the people of the Caribbean islands has become desperate. Although they already have, let me say, the necessary water, food, water, they already have food and water and clothing, housing, all those necessary things to survive. Venezuela, there have been an ongoing coup in Venezuela for a very long time. Since 2017, there have been a coup happening in Venezuela, and nobody was actually pushing their attention towards Venezuela. Everybody was pushing their attention to different agendas that the Illuminati created. Now there are people who will talk about certain aspects of politics. Elohim does support politics because the same politicians who people supporting, who people believing in, who people trusting in, is the same one who already sold out to the agenda of the Illuminati in order to continue the upliftment of the agenda, to continue the agenda of the evil ones in the earth. Now this distraction is very huge. This deception is very huge. The people in the Caribbean islands is buying this nonsense, that they believe that Venezuela is going to war with USA and Russia. But let Archangel Samuel tell you what will truly unfold. What will unfold is that the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, he trying to push up himself to the UN. Now listen to me. This is a deep distraction, a deep deception, that the people not opening their eyes to see what is really going on. Now in your eyes, you might believe there is a war between different turfs, Russia and America, but there's no war between those countries. It's all a turf war. It's something called a turf war. A turf war is when a country have a certain resource that other enemy wants, so to speak. Venezuela have a resource of oil. which is 75% higher than all the other regions like the US. The US have at least 23% oil, but Venezuela have the highest percentage of drums of oil they could actually get on the earth. Venezuela have the highest rating for oil reserves on the earth, the entire earth. What I'm saying is that Nicolas Maduro is in the Illuminati, yes. Now, before they try to take him out in 2018 February last year, they tried to kill Nicolas Maduro to take over the position. But I won't go deep into that, because when I talk certain things, people won't understand what I'm saying. So I don't want to go too deep to confuse people. I just want to give you all an idea of what I'm actually explaining to you all, without bringing out the real deep facts of the deception that's going on earth. Nicolas Maduro already sold out to the Illuminati. No one, listen to me, no one in government, nobody in government. And also you should know as well, there's no Rothschild's banks in Venezuela. That is the reason why the economy in Venezuela collapsed. It collapsed because it couldn't run on its own resources. That is the reason why, folks, Nicolas Maduro already sold out to the Illuminati. No, he's not a clone. He has to keep up this resilience of looking like if there's war going to break out. But there's that war that is going to break out. We're talking about World War III. Now, you might say, World War III going to begin in the Middle East. That's still war. What Israel is doing in the Middle East is called a turf war. What US is about to do in the Caribbean islands, it is a suicide mission. What they're going to do is not war against each other, but war against the people in the Caribbean islands who will rebel against the laws that they're going to bring in a couple days from now. That I told you all, civil war is what is coming. Now, as Yahushua said, if people want to continue to laugh, mock and scoff, they could do that as well. That is in their free will to do so. They're going to destroy the Caribbean islands with nukes. That is in order to get to Yahushua. Because, folks, if anybody remember Archangel Samuel saying in 2018, Yahushua returns in 2019. Hence the reason why Russia going to gather with Venezuela, and the US, it will look like if the US really going to war with Russia, but at the end of the day, all of them is allies. All of them is together, folks. You ever see Russia fighting war against the US? No, folks. The war that you see happening in the Middle East is called a turf war. It's a war with different countries. Well, I say countries, but continents, so to speak. It is a war. In the war in Israel in the Middle East is a turf war where they want land. Where they want land. They want turf. Certain turfs. You know what I mean? They want certain turfs in Israel. Like in the Middle East, guys. Now we're talking about the Caribbean island. People pushing this agenda as if there will be a war between Venezuela and America. No. You see, they make it look to you as though they're going to war with the USA. But the agenda is to destroy the Caribbean island. The agenda is not a war against each other. The agenda is for turf war. They're setting up boundaries. They're setting up barriers, getting prepared for civil war, which will eventually erupt into the World War III. Now there's a lot of Christian fanatics out there talking about World War III will be this and that. They have no idea what World War III will be. Because guys, World War III is the end of the earth. The end of the earth. World War III will be the end. And World War III is not a natural war where they fight against one another. No. What you see in the movie is a deception. You hear what I'm telling you? What you see in the movie with this one fighting against this one is a turf war. World War III is Armageddon war. Armageddon is the end of the world. Well, you now understand what's going on, right? Are you not opening all your eyes? You think that these countries, that Russia go and fight against the US, is against us? Oh my gosh, the people is so blasted, blind, and brainwashed. It's so sad that they can't see that the war is not against the enemies themselves, but the war is against those who will rise up against them. And you hear what I'm saying? They're not going and fight against each other. That war is between us. Wow! People can't see that. That is the reason why the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago went into the UN. Wow, you all are so friggin' brainwashed. The enemies will never fight against themselves. The enemy will never fight against themselves. That war is against us, folks. They want us dead. Fallen to what Archangel Samuel teaching you. The Illuminati already give Russia clue. Go after the Caribbean island. Those are the places that will be destroyed first by that mega tsunami. But before the tsunami happens, we will move into the byways and to the highways. Nicolas Maduro already in the Illuminati. Hey, if something was to happen in Venezuela today or tomorrow, he will escape. You hear what I'm saying? That is the reason why the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago ran to the UN, because he wants to secure himself. Because when this war break out in the Caribbean islands, it will be against the kingdom of the Most High and the kingdom of darkness. If something was to happen in Venezuela today or tomorrow, Nicolas Maduro and his wife and his family, they will escape without even a scratch. You know why? Because they already sold out. So they have to put it in your mind. Hey, we're going to fight war. Just like what you're seeing there. It look like if we gathering to fight against USA, because it's looking the way they're pushing the agenda. They're pushing the agenda of war in you. You believe in, folks. You believe in your heart that Russia will not fight against the US in war. That's the agenda they want you to believe. And you believe that without a shadow of doubting that it is indeed an agenda by the Illuminati to wipe us out. So when you actually think that they're going to battle against each other, it's we they're coming at. All that's what I'm saying. Are you awakened yet? They're coming for us. Russia will never fight against the US. They are allies, they are brothers, they are sisters. They are all in this one world, new world, one world government agenda. Trinidad and Tobago deep in this occult. Trinidad and Tobago is deep. The government of Trinidad and Tobago is deep in this occult practice that's going on. And they already sold out the people of Trinidad. They already sold out. For example, look how much accidents just happening in Trinidad. Is it a coincidence? All of a sudden, every single day there are accidents happening on the highway. Am I making sense to you? Do you have on the full armor of Elohim in this hour? That's the reason why when they're about to start this war between us, we will go up. We will transform. The purpose of the tsunami that will happen in Venezuela and wipe out half of Trinidad is to protect us, the righteous ones. Is to protect us from the agenda that they're about to execute. When Russia and Venezuela got it together, the US embassy and the US allies, they were moving secretly in Trinidad. You hear what I'm saying? That is the agenda. So when the war is about to break out between us and them, Yahushua will come. We will be raptured up, and the tsunami will block any. The tsunami will be so high that it will block the transformation from happening, so that they don't launch a freaking missile at me when we are about to transform. Now, what I'm saying here might sound unbelievable to you, but nobody on the earth knows exactly what's going on. Nobody on the earth knows exactly. It's all propaganda. They all pushing this agenda as if Venezuela going to war with the US. No. Are you understand? What is the purpose of the tsunami? The purpose of the tsunami is to protect us. They have a plan. Because the Caribbean islands will be the first place to be destroyed. Well, I hear what's saying. Other data from Elohim and some data from some other sources. Alright? So I'm making sure that you specifically hear what I have to say. Alright, so what's going on right now in Capranio is a lot of things taking place right now in Capranio. Alright, so what we'll do is just bring up the drawing of the walls and everything. We're going to go through it for about 2-3 minutes. Then we're going to dive into the full prophecy that was given on the 30th, I think it was the 30th or the 31st. I can't remember the exact date. Alright, yes, Sister Coco. Commander and all commanders on the live. Yes, there's a lot of evil things going on right now in Chicago, a lot of evil things going on in Australia, a lot of evil things going on in England, a lot of evil things going on in Austria. All right, there's a place called Australia, there's a place called Austria. All right, there's also a place called Saudi Arabia. There's a lot of evil things going on in Saudi Arabia as well. That is the reason why Yahuwah is sending plagues to Saudi Arabia. All right. So there's a lot of evil things taking place right now in those different places, which is a stench and an abomination to the Most High. Alright, hence the reason why for the judgment upon those places. Alright, so that's the reason why there's a lot of things going on around the earth. Alright, today, I think in Colombia, there was a sonic boom over Colombia. and the sonic boom have a lot to do with no meteorite, because there's nothing called a meteorite. All right, unlearn the acronyms of lies that they put in place to deceive you of what the Most High is doing on the earth and over the earth and under the earth. So the sonic boom that they heard today in Colombia have a lot to do with the tectonic plate replacement of how Yahuwah is setting up the tectonic plates in order to align for the tsunamis to be in an unstoppable formation, as the prophecy states on the 30th or the 31st. I can't remember what date it was, but the last live that I did, not a watch party, but the last live that I did then, all right, that Yahuwah has specifically said how he's going to do the unstoppable tsunami. All right, that is the reason why the minor earthquakes is occurring, in order to bring forth the major shifts. When the major shifts is completed, then in between there will be magnetic shifts in order to accommodate the pole reversal shifting of the tectonic plates. All right, now there's something called pole shift, which is also not what they think it is. All right, so they are actually calling certain elements that is really the pole reversal shifting happening. The pole shift has come to an end since 2018. All right, and explained already on a previous live what is the pole shift. So what I will do is actually go back over. All right, what I will actually do is just go back over the pole shift. All right, what is the pole shift? I will just go back over that to explain to you. All right, to explain to you what is the pole, what is the pole shift. Guys, the pole shift have nothing to do with the Arctic ice and the freezing and all this kind of thing. All right, that is not the pole shift. The pole shift completed December the 20th, I think December the 20th or the 30th, somewhere around there. On the Gregorian calendar, all right, the pole shift has ended. I already announced that the pole shift has already ended. The pole shift had a lot to do with the hurricanes, and right, pole shift had a lot to do with the hurricanes. Most of the saturation, most of the major saturation, all right, the pole shift had to do with setting things up in order for the pole reversal shifting to happen. The pole reversal shifting have a lot to do with how what's happening with the fireballs, not meteorite, the fireballs, the supernatural multicolored foundation stones showing up in the heaven. That is the formation or the preparation for the pole reversal shifting. And the pole reversal shifting have nothing whatsoever to do with saturation. All right, the pole reversal shifting have nothing whatsoever to do specifically. All right, now I wonder if you all hearing me good. The pole reversal shifting have absolutely nothing to do. The pole reversal shifting have absolutely nothing to do with the saturation process. The saturation process, all right, the saturation process have a lot to do with the pole shift. The saturation is the pole shift. All right, the saturation is the beginning to saturate the earth, to cause the earthquakes, to begin the tectonic plate replacement, to remove this plate and align this plate. That is in order to set up for the tectonic pole reversal shifting. It's two different meanings. They don't have an idea, and a matter of fact, they don't want to know, or they don't want to learn that the pole shift have absolutely nothing to do with what's happening right now in Brooklyn, and what's happening right now in Chicago, in New York, what's happening right now in England, all those places that is freezing right now. That have nothing whatsoever to do with the pole shift. that have to do with the beginning of the pole reversal shifting. And I already explained this already since 2017. Since 2017. I announced to you all how the pole reversal shifting will be and what will be the pole shift. Already explained this many times. Climate change have absolutely nothing to do with what's going on around the earth. Alright? The word climate change is a deception. Just like the word in Nibiru. The word Nibiru, Planet X, Brown Dwarf Star, have absolutely nothing at all to do with what's going on around the earth. Because the word Planet X was actually put in place to hide the existence of our creators Yahuwah. Alright? The word phenomenon was put in place to hide the destruction and the judgment of the Most High and the signs of Yah showing forth on the earth and in the heavens. So the word phenomenon is being used by many meteorologists because the fact that they don't know what it is. Alright? They don't know what it is. They don't know what's going on. So they will use the word called phenomenon. The word phenomenon is a complete distraction from the main event that is going on, and what is causing the reaction on the earth is the judgment of the creators Elohim that is unfolding right now upon the earth, which have a lot to do with the pole shift and the pole reversal shifting. Because the pole reversal shifting have a lot to do with the cross displacement, have a lot to do with the tectonic plates in alignment to create the mega tsunamis. Alright? The pole reversal shifting have absolutely nothing to do with what happened last year, the year before, with all the hurricanes and all the rains. The purpose of the hurricane, as I explained on other live, have a lot to do with the saturation process. I've already announced it to the public and to all those who are accustomed listening to me that the pole shift have absolutely nothing to do with what's happening in January 2019. What's happening in January 2019 is the beginning of the pole reversal shifting, which begins in different stages. Alright? So I would say right now we in the first stage of the pole reversal shifting. Alright? Now there are 7 stages in the pole reversal shifting. Alright? And I will just give you at least 2 or 3. I don't want to sell out the rest of things. Alright? One of the stages of the pole reversal shifting is the cross displacement. The cross displacement is when the tectonic plate is removed from this location and put on the other location. Alright? Well, so to speak. The second sign or the second event of the pole reversal shifting have a lot to do with splitting islands like sinkholes and all these other things. Sinkholes is included in the pole reversal shifting because the sinkholes have a lot to do with the earth. The saturation is the beginning of the pole shift. Alright? Now there's this jackass called Mark Alken that stole my prophecies. Yes, Mark Alken. And many other scientists who stole my teachings, put it in a book, sell it to the public with total deceiving information because they don't want to put things that I say in order for I to be signed up, so to speak. Because they stole the words and the prophecies, spin it around, turn it around in their own words to make a profit out of Elohim words, the words that was given to me. Alright? So there's a lot of them out there who are saying that the pole shift is what's going on right now. No, guys. When I come to you and I come to you with a teaching, I come to you with the truth. Alright? I come to tell you what is going on around the earth. Alright? I come to tell you that. Free of charge. Alright? But when people take the words of Yah and turn it around in their own words, and then they say they discovered this, or they got in a vision, or they got this via visions, they are liars, they are deceivers, they are mockers and scoffers of the true word of the Almighty Elohim. Just like what Devika did, the famous psychic of Trinidad. Alright? All the mouth and mouth she have. Alright? But I'm telling you, that day will come when I will stand and see all those that are wicked I will stand and be a judge in the presence of the Most High, and I will see to it that all those who mock and scoff at Yah, that the end be an end that nobody else on the earth will experience, or nobody else on the earth will go through. That day and that time will come. So all those who don't want to listen to what Archangel have to say, that is their problem. That is their business. But what I'm telling you is, there are people out there who falsifying information in order to look good. You understand what I'm saying? Like what's going on in Venezuela. Alright, there's a lot of people pushing a certain agenda by telling people, oh, this will happen and that will happen, stock up on food, stock up on this. Hey, that is propaganda bullshit, guys. Alright, but those who walking in righteousness with Elohim, all those who walking in righteousness with Elohim, you have absolutely nothing to worry. You understand what I'm saying? Because as I explained on the other live, right? I did explain on the other live that what's going on in Venezuela is a complete deception. You hear? What's going on in Venezuela is a deception, and the people in the Caribbean islands is buying this shit. Take note of what will be the next agenda for Maduro, Venezuelan president. So what will actually happen in Venezuela will be a coup. All right. Now, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago is going to issue ID cards for Venezuela. Listen to me carefully. Now, this will be a direct impact on the Caribbean islands as well as Trinidadians, because the fact that this is a hidden agenda happening right in their face and they can't do nothing to stop it. You understand? Now, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, or the government of Trinidad and Tobago, decided that they didn't just decide that just like that they're going to give Venezuelan ID cards. No, guys, this is an agenda, Trinidadians. This is an agenda that you cannot stop. You can't stop this agenda because you allow this agenda to overcrowd your country. You understand what I'm saying? You allowed it. Right? Just like they will never ever ban Carnival, they will never stop Carnival, by the way. Alright? That's the reason why they push Carnival back to March. Why? Because it is an agenda by the Illuminati to create strife, content, alright, and to also create a sort of fear in the hearts of the people of the Caribbean islands. So what I'm telling you, what is going to happen is a fake assassination of Maru. Well, I don't know what is his name. Maduro, that is Venezuela president. Make sure you take notes of this, what I'm saying. Everything I'm saying, take notes of it, so in order that other people could learn. Alright? There will be a fake assassination of Maduro, or Maduro, whatever they call the name of Venezuela prime minister or whatever. There will be a fake, you hear what I say? There will be a fake, yes, a fake. There will be a fake assassination of Maduro, Venezuelan president. Now, the other guy who signed himself in as the president of Venezuela is actually a reptilian. Listen to what I'm saying very well. Now, as I said before, the rabbit hole is so deep, very, very deep. And if you want to enter into that rabbit hole, you must be walking right with Elohim. Because when you enter into that rabbit hole, you will see so much of deception in that rabbit hole that you must learn, or you must know how to know which is truth and which is lie. Because the way how the fallen angels, the way how they set up things in the system, the way how they set up the false history to sort of line up with the real history, which is not the real history. So, in other words, what I'm saying is that some of the truth that you were taught is complete lies. You understand what I'm saying? The war that manifesting in Venezuela have a lot to do with territory, have a lot to do with us on a whole. And I keep saying this over and over and over again. And some people not really understanding what's really going on. Donald Trump is not the one calling the shots. Let me tell you again. Let me say it again. Donald J. Trump, or Donald Jr. Trump, or whatever they call himself. Donald Trump, America president, which is actually a reptilian, which is actually a sun worshipper, not Elohim worshipper. Donald Trump have nothing to do with Elohim. When Donald Trump used the word God and Jesus and all this kind of thing, they are referring to the sun God, which is, who is the sun God? Baal. Who is Baal? Lucifer. At the end of the day, it all comes back to Lucifer. You hear what I'm saying? Donald Trump have nothing to do with Elohim. Elohim didn't put Donald Trump there. Alright? God of this world, the God of this world, Lucifer. Lucifer, Baal. Yes, Allah. Allah place Donald Trump there for an agenda. Elohim have nothing to do with what's going on the earth in respects to governance on the earth. Period. Elohim, the triune eternal family, the creators, they have absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with the governance on the earth. You hear what I'm saying? Yahushua is the government of the universe when that time comes. But right now, Elohim on the whole is the government over all other governments in the earth and the ones in the flesh, the ones in the spirit. So that specifically states that the whole world is actually laying in the powers of the king of darkness or the prince of darkness, which is aka Satan, which is aka Jesus, aka Allah, aka Buddha, aka Krishna, aka Satan, aka the devil, aka Lucifer. So much of deceptions just hidden in plain sight. You know what I'm saying? And people refuse to open their eyes to see the deception that is happening in their eyes. So right before their eyes, Lucifer, the kingdom of darkness, is deceiving the world. You understand what I'm saying? That they are actually laying in the powers of darkness rather than actually being obedient to the powers of the heavenly realms, which is Elohim, who are the holy triune eternal family. Now, you will never hear this anywhere else on the earth, because I am the only one who truly teaches you in love. I'm the only one who teaches you from the heart of the Father. The only one that speaks truthfully from the Father. The only one that speaks truthfully from the triune eternal family. And yes, the rabbit hole is very deep. So what I'm going to do for just 1 minute, I want you to reflect on where you actually plan to spend your eternity. Where will be your eternity next?
So there's some food outside and you can see the steam rising off the river. Outside and you can see the steam rising off the river. Outside and you can see the steam rising off the river.
So again, what do you think is actually going on right now? All right. Now I have a lot of things to talk about, so I'm just going to make it very swift. All right. As I've shown you before, and I've shown you again, exactly how my teachings are in alignment with everything that is going on around the earth, without it ever happen, without relying on the metallurgists or scientists or psychics, all them kind of brainwashed or brain dead demons. You need to rely on the teachings of Elohim. Yes, there's so much things to teach. So much things to teach. But I don't want to stay too long on the live. I want people to share this live to every group, wherever you are, alright? Because there are things that I've taught you all that nobody else on the earth knows. Just to recap, before we go forward here, just to recap everything that I'll tell you all right, just reading from just reading here from just trying to remember some of the things that I told you all. The sonic booms that was heard today, the first of the second month, okay, 2019, all right, that occurred in Colombia. It have a lot to do with the alignment of the tectonic plates, which Abba Yahuwah is doing presently in every nation, in every country, every continent. All the places that are getting earthquakes, the places that is not getting any earthquakes will be the places that will experience fireballs, and the places which will also experience the sinkholes with lava coming out of it. To recap and to repeat again, the places that are getting earthquakes are the places that will be destroyed by mega tsunamis. All right, those tsunamis will join and merge as it comes forth. So as all the tsunamis merge and come forth, when the tsunamis merge in and when they come forth, they will actually merge together to actually create a more sudden, stronger impact. All right. So the pole shift has ended since December the 30th, 2018. All right, it has nothing to do with the ice in Antarctica. It have absolutely nothing to do with the ice, with the ice event that is going on right now, or the ice apocalypse that is actually unfolding right now in different parts, or in the southeast of America, and etc. and etc. All right. So what's going on in Chicago, Austria, Australia, those places that are experiencing heat wave, in Chile, in Guatemala, those places that are experiencing earthquakes and tsunamis, those are the places, well, I mean tsunamis, those places will experience the mega tsunamis. Alright, I just want to recap what I told you all. Alright, there's nothing called global warming. The word global warming was invented to hide the judgment of Yah over the earth. And what is unfolding since 2012 on the earth was the beginning of the pole shift. So the pole shift began in 2012. Yes, in 2012. In 2012, the pole shift began. In 2018, the pole shift has ended. Now we are in 2019 Gregorian calendar. We have entered into the phase of the pole reversal shift, which has 7 stages, which is mega stages of going through to bring the earth to a complete destruction and a ruin heap, as it is written in Revelation. All right. Next thing we're going to talk about the the deep freeze conditions currently being experienced in America right now has nothing to do with the pole shift, as I explained to you all already. I just want to reverse it to make sure that you all have an understanding of what it is. Rather, it is the beginning of the pole reversal shifting, which has begun the 1st of January 2019. All right. There is no global warming, no Nibiru nonsense, as NASA and USCS, etc. has says. And they have a lot of mouthpiece, a lot of people, a lot of people, which are the sky watchers who push the agenda for NASA, for USCS, and UV Seismic and all the others who support this bullshit theory of these nonsensical words called phenomenon. There are 7 stages of the pole reversal shifting. Also, I want you all to know it have nothing called aftershock. Anything that happens after a small earthquake, a big earthquake is a friggin' earthquake. Alright? Anything that happens after a big earthquake is nothing called an aftershock. Alright? The term aftershock specifically means, in their words, that there is no creator moving no plates. Alright? The plates are being moved by itself. So it's an aftershock because a plate lift and then a plate slam down. So the plate's doing things by itself. No, guys. The creator, Yahuwah, who created the earth, alright, yes, out of his own hands, he placed the tectonic plates in a certain way that when the end comes, which is now, that he will do things in alignment to his word, that he will do things in alignment to what he speaks through me in this final hour. Alright, so that's to give you a little stronger history of what's going on. Alright, the deception that is going on right now in Venezuela is a great deception. All right, they actually want to turn Trinidadians against Venezuela to create a country. They want to actually create a way where Venezuela and Trinidad could merge together as one. But guys, as I told you all already, my words against their words, and my words is from the Creator's lips, is from his mouth. So exactly, it is the truth that I speak to you, the public, and I ask you to share this live. All right. So what is going on right now in Venezuela is a complete distraction from the main issues that are affecting Trinidad. Period. Again, what's going on in Trinidad, alright, and what's going on in Venezuela. The distraction that is going on in Venezuela is also a distraction for Trinidad as well, and the other Caribbean islands. Because while they are distracted about Putin going on battle with US and different battle gears and vehicles coming out and people rioting and all this kind of bullshit, they're putting things in place to nuke Trinidad, to destroy us, so that we don't rise up against them. I told you all, this is the beginning of the Armageddon War. Alright? Yahuwah HaMashiach returns in 2019, which is this year, which I have been announcing since 2017, that Yahuwah will return in 2019. If you don't believe what I'm saying, go on your knees, do a prayer and fast, and they will tell you, or they will give you a little code, they might give you a little, when I mean the Elohim, they will actually tell you, well, so and so is the case. They might actually show you a vision, they might show you certain things, alright? They won't give you the ideal answer that you want, because they don't want the enemy to know what is their plans. But I am telling you exactly what is their plans without asking you for a single cent. Alright? In 2012, the pole shift began completely. Alright? And it ended in 2019. Of the 7 stages of the pole reversal shifting, we have begun the first stage, which is the crustal, the crustal displacement, of where the tectonic plates have to be built up like a certain wall. You see, like the wall that is seen there, close to Trinidad? Right. If we look exactly where earthquakes happen for Trinidad, we will see definitely where Archangel Samuel is right. Alright. So, just to give you an idea of what's going on around the earth as of now, before we dive into this deeper teaching.
Outside, and you can see the steam rising off the river. Outside, and you can see the steam rising off the river.
Alright, so let's be real here. The polar vortex is another deception. All right, the polar vortex, which might have nothing to do with the pole shift, as they say. The polar vortex is another deception, another friggin' lie by the Illuminati, of course, because I don't want you all to know it is the pole reversal shifting. If you realize they are not speaking about the pole reversal shifting, because I am the only one that's speaking about the pole reversal shifting, and I am the only one on earth who ever started teaching about the pole shift and the pole reversal shifting. Nobody knows anything about it. Nobody knew anything about the pole reversal shifting nor the pole shift. Although some people got it in dreams, but they have absolutely no idea what it is. Alright, so what they did was they put certain teachings that they get from certain history books, put it together, and they say, well, okay, that is the pole shift. No, that is not the pole shift. That have nothing to do with the pole shift. That have nothing to do with the pole reversal shifting. The polar vortex is another deception. You know what's a friggin' vortex? I will tell you. I'll teach you what's a vortex. A vortex is not what's going on. A vortex have to do with outer space bullshit. That is a vortex. A vortex is a wormhole, open up, and let me say it's a black hole. Alright? A vortex is a friggin' black hole that keeps, you know, it's like let me say a black hole open up in the universe, alright, and sort of suck everything in. That is a friggin' vortex. You understand? That is a vortex. That has proved to you how stupid they are, that when they're stealing prophecies from me, that they don't know what the ass are talking about. So they put it out there so that they can deceive people, that people will turn to listen to me. You see, there's a war. There's a serious war going on. Besides the war going on in Venezuela against us, there's a war going on worldwide that people are still friggin' brain dead as well as brainwashed, that they can't see what's going on right in front of their faces. So the vortex have absolutely nothing to do with no friggin' polar vortex. Alright? If you say the pole reversal shifting going on, yes, the pole reversal shifting is going on as of right now. Alright? As of right now, yes, indeed. The pole reversal shifting is going on right now as we speak, right? So that word polar vortex is a bunch of shit, because it's all lies, guys. Alright? It's all lies. Alright, so as you see on the drawing there, you see where the alphabet is all lined up. Alright, as you can see, the alphabets are lined up in a specific way in order to get you to understand certain things. Alright, the alphabet is lined up in a special way. So if you look exactly where the alphabets are lined up, then you could see exactly what's going on. Alright. You can see exactly what's going on when you look at the alphabet. Let me see if I could just stop this from going through. Alright. So you can see exactly what's going on. Alright. Well, how the alphabet is lined up there. So what I want you to do right now is look at the mouse, because I'm going to bring it up there for you in a sec. Alright. Because I teach you righteousness. Alright. So as you can see right now, just look at what's going on the map of Trinidad. As you can see the map there, alright, as you can see the map there, that's where all earthquakes happening. Martin is not too far from there, but I didn't really do the zoom down. I just wanted to point out this for a while. And I just wanted to show you all exactly what's going on, right? Let me see if I could, alright. So as you can see, I'll just zoom in down a little bit. Alright. Look where all the earthquakes happen in Trinidad. Alright. Let me see if I can just cry down some more. Just look at where all the earthquakes happen. Alright. It proves that I am telling you the truth. So just look where the mouse is. Focus on the mouse. Alright. Focus on the mouse. As you can see, my mouse here. Alright, this is where the split will happen. As I tell you all, this is where the split will happen. Alright, so while we get into this deeper teaching, I just want you all to just, think about what's going to happen when Yahuwah completes when Yahuwah complete the splitting of Capranio or Cuparano, when Yahuwah separates Cuparano, that will be a devastating destruction for half of Trinidad. All right, as I said, the split now from Capranio will run straight across from Port of Spain straight to Sangre Grande. All right. The other split that will happen, Cariputu is Cariputu. That other strip that will happen in Cariputu here, that will split the east. That will split the central Trinidad, go right back to this other place there. I can't remember the name of the place right now. All right. So as I'm saying already, and then Maturin now will deal with Point Fortin, Cedros, and all these other places. Now these are things that nobody knows about. Nobody knows about this. NASA, USGS, UV seismic, they have no idea why all those earthquakes are happening. But now they have an idea because they know Archangel Samuel telling the truth. But they, they don't want to promote my teachings. Then it will make them look like some asses. You understand? That is the reason why they don't want to promote my teachings, because it will look like they don't know one shit, which they don't. Understand? They don't know nothing that's going on. All right, what's going on? So, guys, we're gonna look into the tsunami as we have a wider picture here to show. So I'm gonna just bring up the full screen and then we're gonna come back to that. All right. So as you can see here, let's see if I can just bring up a mouse there. As you can see here, right here, this earthquake happened recently, and it's every single where you see my drawing, that is exactly where earthquakes will happen. Yes, Capranio will break off in a few days from now. Been saying that since 2018. All right, about Capranio and Maturin, right? All right. So again, Capranio, all right, have a lot to do with the whole of Trinidad, because Capranio is the main tectonic plate for the whole of Trinidad, and Maturin now is the epicenter of Capranio. All right, it might look a little different to you in the map. I understand that. All right, but Capranio or Cuparano, I would say Cuparano, it empowers the whole island of Trinidad, or that's Trinidad, right? Capranio or Cuparano empowers the whole of Trinidad island, and it also empowers Tobago. But Tobago is on the same Cuparano tectonic plate, but it's just that it's different. All right, it's just all differently, as I draw it already for you all to see already. So this is something that some of the things that I already taught you all since 2018, 2017, 2016. All right. These are the things that I've taught you all how Trinidad will split. All right. And if you go back at some of the teachings that I did in 2017, you will see where I said that Maturin, all right, will separate Trinidad. Maturin separate the deep south of Trinidad. So in other words, Maturin have a lot to do, guys, with the south of Trinidad. All right, Capranio have a lot to do with the east and the central of Trinidad, and also the north of Trinidad, because the north of Trinidad, there is no tectonic plate for the north of Trinidad. All right. So when Cuparano, I keep saying Capranio, I love that name. When Cuparano is separated, if you look at all the earthquakes happening in a line, that is exactly how Cuparano going to split. Cuparano is going to split and break off in order for the tsunami. Yes, in order for the tsunami to, let me just say, this will be the tsunami coming on here. Let me say all here now. Let me say all here will be the tsunami. All right. All here will be the tsunami, and here now will be the active fault lines and the fault lines and whatever. All right, don't want to go too deep into that part of the teaching for today, because I have other days to teach you other things in respects to the earthquakes that happen for Trinidad. All right. So the tsunami now will be coming from Grenada, and I said already, when it reach Grenada, kick them Jenny, the volcano under Grenada. All right. Kick them Jenny, kick them Jack. All right. In a few days from now, let me say 7 days from now, these volcanoes will begin to be active again. All right. Again, from 7 days from now, could land us on the 5th. I think it's on the 5th of February, somewhere around there. Make sure that you take notes. I don't want to repeat myself over again. Alright? 7 days from now, kick them Jenny, kick them Jack, kick them John. The volcanoes will show signs of activity there in Grenada in order to facilitate the tsunami that will be generated there. So there will be a tsunami that will be generated in Grenada in order to generate and help the tsunami coming down from the in order to help the tsunami that will be coming from Panama City and Karakou. So coming down the islands, alright, now people don't know what the us are talking about, right? But coming down the islands, when the tsunami reach in front, let me say St. Lucia, the tsunami will stop, right? The tsunami will stop for a second, then the tsunami will build again. When Kick Them Jenny volcano explodes, also I want to just reiterate that some of the volcanoes, the mud volcanoes in Trinidad, have a lot to do with Kick Them Jenny and Kick Them John. Alright? So let me tell you all a little secret here. Nobody knows about this. This secret is that certain volcanoes in Trinidad, mud volcanoes in Trinidad, supplies mud to these volcanoes. Alright? Now these volcanoes also have like a boiler. Alright? The volcanoes in Grenada have boilers, and the boilers is about 3,000 feet, let me say 3,000 feet in depth. Alright? So about 3,000 feet in depth will be the boilers of these mud volcanoes in Grenada. Alright? Now, the mud volcanoes in Trinidad that recently erupted, they said it was an ancient one that erupted in, I think is Palo Seco or somewhere in Trinidad. After that story was released, you hear nothing anymore about that volcano because they want to keep it under wraps. They want to keep it under secret. They want to keep what's going on in the Caribbean island under secrecy so that people don't know what is going to happen to them. But I am telling you the truth, and I think I deserve more views. I think I deserve more shares. I think that I deserve even more than people just claiming to understand things. I deserve, a wider spectrum. But the truth is that will never happen because they don't want to promote the ancient truth of Elohim, because that will tear down the veil of deception and will open the eyes of all those that are blind. Alright? So to recap, the volcano, whether it's the Devil Woodyard volcano in, not Palo Seco, I think it's Woodland. The Devil volcano in Trinidad, which is in Woodland, supplies volcano for Kick Them Jack. The one that recently exploded, or the one that recently showed signs of activity in January, I think it's January the 17th, somewhere around there. That one supplies for Kick Them Jenny. There will be other mud volcano that will be awakened. Now that one will be in Moruga side. There that will show signs of activity within the next 12 days or so. Alright? If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Alright, but I'm just giving you an idea of those volcanoes and where they are situated and what is the purpose of those volcanoes, rather than believing the bullshit lies from UV Seismic and from Loop TT and all of them who push the agenda for the Illuminati, whether they know or they unknow of the agenda of exactly of what is going on around the earth, especially what's going on in the Caribbean islands as well. Alright? So I'm telling you the actual truth of what is going on. Not even Trinidad and Tobago, where the center could tell you. UV Seismic, USGS, none of them knows, no scientists, none of them knows what's going on, unless if they steal the teachings from me, which they always do. Alright? Or they send Jason Kanhai from the UV Seismic page to laugh at my prophecies, to laugh at me, yes, to laugh at me. Already sent Jason Kanai to laugh at me, alright, Joan Lutchman and them of the US Seismic. They have no idea what's going on. And Joan Lutchman of US Seismic should resign. She should resign and give me the position. Let me direct people the righteous way. That will never happen, right? Joan Lutchman not stepping down. She is an Illuminati puppet for the USGS. You know what I'm saying? Alright? So that will happen, guys. So I just want what I just teach you all day to sink in before we go into a little deeper teaching.
Outside and you can see the steam rising off the river. Outside and you can see the steam rising off the river.
So let me be real here. Who is the fake one? US Seismic or Archangel Samuel? Who is the fake one here right now? Because they tell people how I fake. So, who is the fake one? US Seismic or Archangel Samuel? Or Devika? Or Ragu? Or the psychics and them? Who is the fake one here right now? Who is the fake one? Alright? Let me do actually a poll then. Let me do an actual poll. Who is the fake one right now? I am the fake one, Archangel Samuel the fake one, Devika the fake one, US Seismic. Who are the fake one? USGS or scientists. Who is the fake one, guys? Who is the ones who truly fake? Who truly serves Lucifer? Which one truly serves Lucifer? Let me know in the comment section there.